Alright, welcome back to part 2 of making chicken soup. On another episode of Homemade Chef, where you're the homemade chef, I'm just the guy telling you how it is, no bullshit, just straightforward. Good cooking techniques. Alright, we already made our stock. We roasted off the veggies, our mirepoix with our chicken bones and our chicken fat and our chicken giblets. We took those out, we put them in a pot of water, we boiled the living daylights out of them. And then we took all of that, everything that was in the pot other than liquid, and we threw it away. Look, here, there's actual proof. See, I threw it all away. The reason for it is that we're actually, like I said, we're taking all the flavors, all the good stuff out of the first batch of veggies. That's why we were able to add things like the extra stuff, like there was the broccoli stems that we added to it. Gives it a fuller, richer, more depth of a flavor. Alright, we don't want to keep any of that stuff because, you know what, we're not going to be serving mushy carrots. We're cooking all the flavor out of that stuff. We're cooking all the vitamins out of that stuff into the water. I actually taught this technique to a friend of mine that was known for making a really good, it was like a Mediterranean chicken soup. I'm not familiar with it. But she was known for making it great. Friends, family loved it. Taught her the technique. There was actually a night and day difference by the people that ate it regularly that noticed it. I like that. We started off, we added our carrots already. Hush, I'm busy now. We got our carrots, we put them actually in, and we used a steeping method. We put the carrots in, we boiled the water, we added the carrots, killed the heat, and just let them steep for about 15 minutes. That's going to cause the carrots to do some different cool science type stuffs with the molecular breakdown, the way that they affect them. But it's going to keep them stiff, it's going to keep them bright, they're going to have a nice flavor, nice, you know, snap to them when you bite them, not going to be mush. We'll do an episode on that later. We've got the rest of our mirepoix ingredients. We've got our onions, we've got our celery, those are your basics in everybody's chicken soup. We've also have fresh garlic and hearts from some bok choy that I had left over from the other night. I did a video using them. And I'm not going to leave that just sitting around not doing anything with it. We're going to make this a nice heartier soup. Like I said before, we're using this for dinner tonight. So we literally want to stiffen it up, thicken it up. We got that on a nice hot heat. Later we're going to add some, at the very end we're going to add our diced chicken. We're going to add some fresh broccoli, crowns. We're going to add some red pepper just to give us some nice color. We're going to dice it up real fine. And we're even going to add some celery leaf, which will give it a nice, rich, earthy kind of look to it. It'll give it nice and leafy. Right now, while it's cooking, while we got it on the boil, we'll know it's done because the onions and the celery will clarify. The carrots are already pretty much cooked. In fact, using this technique, you can take those carrots, cook them down to nothing, add a little bit of sugar and a little bit of dill to them, cook all the water off of them, and make nice, actually, candied carrots, which are a nice fine dish people like to serve around the holidays. But they're still going to have that snap and that bite to them that you had when you had a fresh carrot to start with. Not as much, but a lot better than the mush you're used to getting. We added salt. We're going to add a little more black pepper. Like I said, we don't mind adding the black pepper because it's not going to hurt it because of the way that it looks. Because we're also adding a little bit of thyme. Just a little bit. And a little bit of sage as well. But because these are two leafier seasonings, herbs, we're not going to notice that black pepper in there. Alright, we're going to let this boil in a little bit. We're going to add our diced chicken, our diced red pepper, our celery, and our broccoli crowns. And let them finish in it. While we've got that going on, we're also going to boil off the pasta. We're going to add the pasta separately because we don't want bloated pasta. And now through movie magic, we're going to let it cook. Alright, you know, I'm not doing that every time. Movie magic, alright? We all know it works. Editing, great. Alright, since we left last, we put in our fresh set of veggies. We threw the old stuff out that we boiled away. We put in our carrots, we put in our celery, our onions. Alright, we've had that work and the onions have started to clarify. Left over, we still have... Oh, since then we also added a little bit of sugar and a little bit more salt. A little more salt just to bring out the flavor because we've been seasoning in layers real light every time. The sugar just because to neutralize some of the dry and acidic flavors that we're going to get up all the veggies. Just kind of brings it all together. We also put in a little bit of lemon juice. The lemon juice and dried parsley go great with chicken. You just want to add a little bit. We're not making lemon chicken soup, just nice hearty rich chicken soup. Brings out more flavor in the chicken without adding more salt and more chicken itself to add more flavor. You probably just want to do with the lemon juice like a half a teaspoon per quart, maybe a tablespoon per gallon. Simple, not much. Well, here we've got our chicken. We have a little bit of diced up red pepper to give it some color. We have broccoli, and we have just shredded up celery leaf just to give it that kind of rustic, earthy kind of look to it. Put it all in right now. Now, like I said, I try to do a lot of things using leftovers from the night before if I can. That chicken, I picked all of that off the bone, which is actually a lot easier when the bone is still hot, so either heat it up the next day or do it while it's that night. No point in buying more chicken to make chicken soup. We've got everything in here. We're going to add a little bit more lemon juice to it. And here's actually a little fun, quick trick for you. I always zest my lemons. I use them for a lot of different things, and I always end up with these leftover lemons just sitting around. If you actually take the top off the lemon, not the stem end, the little other end, and leave a little bit of the white, poke a hole, a little X with a knife, you actually have a nice fresh lemon squeezer. You're not going to get any seeds, you're not going to get any junk. And you can actually feel each of the lemon segments burst as you hit it. And you see that extra shot of juice that comes out at the end. Like I said, a little shot of fresh parsley. It's going to help richen up the flavor. It's also going to give it, like I said, that nice rustic, leafy feel that you're going to want in there. All right, we're going to take another break for a second, let this finish up. We're just going to let it hit a boil, and then we're going to kill the heat. Let all the rest of this stuff, all we wanted to do is just finish cooking up those easy things. The little diced red peppers, broccoli cooks real fast. We don't want to overcook the chicken. You can actually dry the chicken out. Yes, chicken will dry out in water. You're breaking down the protein membranes, you're causing the fat to leak out of it, you're leaving behind just dry chicken. It's like an old sponge. Nobody wants that. So we're not going to let this cook too hard. We're going to do a little more stir, let it sit. We've got macaroni pasta already cooked off over here, ready to go. We're going to serve that separately. We're going to put it into the bowl so we don't have bloated pasta. We don't want to put our pasta in with our soup, have it suck up all the good flavor and juice into that. Alright, give this a couple minutes and we'll be right back. Alright, we're finishing up our chicken noodle soup. Like I said, we added everything. We just kind of we brought it back to a boil when we added those delicate things like the chicken at the end so it didn't overcook, the broccoli so it doesn't get all mushy, the red peppers, the fresh lemon, the dried parsley. We didn't want those things to cook all their flavor out, cook all their colors out. We want them to stay how they are because we want a nice, rich, hearty flavor and color. Actually, here's a quick tip. Real fast. Look what I have left over. I have the start of my next stock. Boom. Leftover veggies, I'll throw those into a Meyer bag or a leftover grocery bag. Throw those off into the bottom of the fridge. Save those for the next time. And there we go. We start it over again. Also, we're going to take all of our leftover dishes. We're going to throw them off to the side. And you know what? Cleanup dishes shouldn't be considered a chore. You want to cook, you got to clean up. If anything, have some fun with it. Make it your time. I like to throw a headbutt in. I listen to some music. I listen to the radio. I crack a beer. Make yourself a mixed drink. Pour a glass of wine. Whatever it is you got to do, turn a chore into something a little more fun, something that you can do. No one's going to bother you if you're cleaning or cooking. Two great things. You got some time to yourself. You want some time to yourself. No one will bother you if you're cleaning and cooking because they don't want to do it. All right, but to finish up, we've got our pasta we kept off to the side. All right, we do not want to add our pasta to the soup itself because it's just going to bloat out. It's going to suck up all the the broth. It was just a mess. Stir from the bottom. Make sure we're hitting the bottom every time we scoop. Take from the top to finish to get some broth. And we've got some nice fresh Italian bread here. You know what? To keep with the whole rustic theme, to keep the whole rustic feel, we're not going to slice it. We're going to tear it. Tear it. Put it right there on the side. Now tell me that... Ow, that's hot. That's hot. But go ahead. Tell me that doesn't look like a great meal on a cool night. Alright, I'm showing it to you now so you can use it when in the fall when it gets cooler. Once again, welcome to Homemade Chef, the guy that burns and cuts himself while he's cooking. Where you're the chef, I'm just the guy telling it to you straight, trying to make you a better home chef. Have a great night. I got a family to feed.